Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Pro Real Estate Team's YouTube channel. Today, we're going to discuss how Jake Rockwell and his team goal set for team leaders and brokerage owners. They are nearly on pace to hit 500 homes, closing on 500 transactions this year. So you'll definitely want to tune in for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for any future episodes. Let's jump right in.
What's happening, JJ?
Hey, what's up, Jake? Welcome back, man. So we got a lot for the audience here, so let's go ahead and jump right in. We're talking goal setting for teams. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, so obviously every year for our team, we like to have an annual goal setting session where it takes up a good half to full day, where we get all of our agents together and we help them determine their goals, which then flows into the goals for our team. Because obviously we can't set the goals for our team without knowing the goals of our agents. And we really have a simple process to it. We use a standard, and some people may already have seen this. It's a 3-2-1 business plan, single page business plan. And we really kind of dive into the high level goal, the focus areas, and the objectives. And that helps us determine what the team should be doing and what our goal is as a whole. But we want buy-in from our team members so that they're all a part of that goal setting process. But first, we have to help them obviously develop their goals and figure out, okay, where do they want to be annually when it comes to transactions or income or other areas in their life that might be important to them. So we don't look at exactly just real estate stuff, but we also look at other things that they might want to improve in their life. So be happy to jump in and share my screen and show you kind of a sample single page business plan that we use. And we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and pull that up and see what you got for us today. So, all right, you should be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, so a single page business plan basically involves, an annual goal, 3 focus areas, and then 5 specific objectives that will complement or help the agents achieve those 3 focus areas. And so this is really just a sample page. And what we'll do is obviously talk a little bit about these pages and what each section is. And so first, let's talk a little bit about the annual goal and what that is. And it can be a number of different things. It can be number of transactions. It could be GCI earned. It could be, you could even go off real estate topic and, weight loss or whatever it is, if that's really, really important to you. Generally, this is going to be more business related, but you could do a separate one for personal life and one for business. And it's a great process for people to take on an annual basis and so forth. So annual goal, we'll normally connect with the agents in our annual meeting and talk about, okay, how many transactions, what's the income that you want to make? And we'll use a calculator to kind of help narrow that down onto what that looks like, even down to like how many conversations or appointments they might need to have and so forth to reach that goal. But it might be 20 million in volume or 30 transactions or whatever. So that's going to be the annual goal.
Got it.
Then we
Okay.
have to
So today, are we going to look at an example of anybody on your team or anything like that? They can get a good, solid look at what this looks like.
Yeah, so let's look at just a sample solo agent single page business plan, which would be something like this, where you have an annual goal of 45 transactions.
Gotcha. Okay.
So an annual goal is great. We have that. Now we need to figure out, okay, what are the 3 focus areas that we're going to focus on to help accomplish that annual goal? And this again will be for the solo agent on your team. And we're going to help walk them through finding their 3 focus areas. For example, on this one, we're looking at establish online presence, lead generate for new business daily, keyword daily, and then organize the COI or SOI in the CRM database and systematically grow and contact it. So those are 3 areas that an agent wants to improve that will help them achieve their 45 transaction goal. Does that make
Got it.
sense with those?
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're basically reverse engineering the main goal into, you're compartmentalizing it into three other focus
Three
areas.
main areas.
So and
And these
then
are areas that you're going to accomplish over the next 12 months.
from there it still gets deeper, right? Because it's okay to know what you have to do, but now it's the how are you going to do it, right?
Yeah, so when we look down a little bit deeper on this sheet, you have the 5 objectives for each focus area, and these are going to be very specific. Things that you're actually going to implement and do and stick to. And this single page business plan should be right above the agent's desk or sitting in front of them, or maybe even as their background on their computer or their phone, to remind them of the 3 focus areas and the objectives for each of those. For example, establish online presence. This agent has set up these 5: set up and or update all social media network profiles, which is working on the business type duty. Create personal landing page linking all social media networks. Complete 4 agent websites for sellers, buyers, neighborhood farms. So what they're doing is they're adding 5 specific items that's going to help them establish better online presence. Follow me?
Yep.
And then the same thing for lead generate. They're specific. They're getting specific. Like on number 2, meet with accountability partner every Monday morning at 10 a.m. So very specific objective that they're going to stick to, because they know these 5 objectives are going to lead to accomplishing their focus area, and which will flow back up into their annual goal.
Yep.
So
So
again, go ahead.
each one of these is breaking down exact metrics that they have to hit, right? So if you're saying your top goal, just to put it in a fitness area, like you said, to give them analogy, okay, top goal is I want to win a marathon this year, right? And then the next 3 focus areas would be train 5 days a week, train, eat,
Well, not necessarily. The focus areas are going to be, okay, get stronger and eat healthier, or whatever. Those are the focus areas. Then you're going to have 5 objectives that are going to
where
be
it's,
specific for each one of those focus areas.
so like Mondays, I train legs. Tuesdays, I'm doing this. Thursday, I'm
Those are
doing this.
objectives.
And then the food and
Yep.
all of that. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So
So same thing with
it
the real
reverse
estate business.
engineers that goal.
Yeah, and in this annual goal meeting, we try to make it fun. We bring in food and drinks, and we really talk on a large level the importance of goal setting, and we kind of go through each of these, and then we'll have staff in the room to help agents with questions on how to help develop their objectives and their focus areas and so forth. We'll give them examples of things that they want to do, and they all have different ideas of how they want to build their business and so forth. But there's going to be a lot of similarities with their focus areas and amongst the other team members.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
that
So
and then
before
that
we
helps. Go
before we
ahead.
move into the team area of it, how the team leader structures for the big team, how are you coaching along your agents when you're planning these goals? Are you coaching them all exactly the same, where it's you're pushing them all to do more? Do you know your personnel where you know, hey, I can push this person a little bit harder? So they said they want to do 25 transactions this year, but you know they can do 30. So you're stretching them. But there may be other people where you just know who they are and they're not complacent, but they know their number and you're okay with them being at that number that
Yeah.
they choose to be. So how are
So
you coaching them along that line?
well, we start with by going around the room and asking everybody for their annual goal when it comes to transactions or volume or GCI, and we're putting that on a whiteboard. And when we're going around the room, and I hear somebody has a crazy goal of sell 200 homes as a solo agent or as an agent on our team, but they only sold 10 last year, then we'll have the conversation. Hey, that's goals are meant to be achievable. You're supposed to push yourself, but they have to also be achievable and within reach. And so we will edit those and have that conversation. Or an agent that did 12 deals or 20 deals last year and is only going to go to and says their goal is going to be 25 deals this year. And if I know that person, I'll be like, don't you think you could do maybe 30 deals? And so because we also don't want them to set goals that they're going to achieve really easily. We want them to push themselves. That's the idea of goals, is to get better and better and push what you've got. But again, it all comes down to the person and what's important to them. Sometimes people want more free time. Maybe the next year they want to work less and spend more time with their family and their kids. So maybe their goal will be less because that's what's important to them for that year. Maybe they're going to travel more that year or whatever. So it all depends. But yes, we'll have that conversation with each agent if it seems out of the ordinary of a goal.
Gotcha. And then one last thing before we move into the team realm of how you actually structure this for the bigger number, for the bigger vision, right? Is how often are these one pages checked on? Do you go back with team members once a quarter? Do you try to encourage them to look at it every 6 months? How often should people be reviewing their main goals?
Yeah, they should be looking at this weekly, really. They like I said, it should be right up on their wall in front of their computer or behind their computer to kind of remind them. And I'm the type of person that when I have a checklist of items to do, I'm trying to get through it. And obviously, when someone gets a lot of this stuff done in the first quarter, especially stuff that's working on the business, like setting up online lead, online presence or whatever stuff that can be done, that's going to help them gain business through the rest of the year. Some of these are, specific things that they're going to do every day or every week, and that's going to be spread obviously over the whole year. But when we're having our team meetings or one-on-one coaching with our agents, we talk about their business plan because sometimes they steer off into other areas and other focus areas that were not a part of their original plan. And we want to bring them back into why they chose these areas and these objectives for this year and try to bring them. Sometimes they do need to be adjusted. Maybe something changes in their life or in their business and they need to adjust it, and that's fine too. But it should be checked on and looked at regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to work the plan or plan to fail, right? So let's go ahead
Yep.
and move into the team realm then. So you get everybody's numbers. How are you coming up with your team goal? Is it something that you set and you say, hey, we're going to go out and sell 500 homes this year or 1,000 homes this year? Or how does that number come along, or GCI? What does it look like for the actual team leader when you're setting goals?
Yeah, so obviously we take the total of all of our agents' annual goal, let's just say transactions. And if that, whatever that total is, some people will be, okay, well, that's our team goal. Well, that's not going to always be the case because not every single person will reach their goal. Not every single person will still be on the team at the end of the year. Some, things change. And so we look at what our previous year's production was. We look at what the next year is going to look like. Like at this point, we've got some changes in the industry and the market, some shifting. So we have to take that into account as well. But we'll take the total transactions of all of the agents. We'll look at that. And if it's greatly exceeds our last year, then we're going to bring it back down into a reasonable amount of, a 10 to 30% increase over what we did last year. Something that's going to be attainable, but not easily attainable. And obviously, the only way we're going to attain our goal is if we help our agents attain their goals. So, for example, I'll share a screen with a team. You would do the same page for a team plan, and this is just a sample one. They're using volume as it, which you can, whatever you want to decide, whether it's number of transactions or volume or GCI. And actually, for our team plan, we do volume, we break it down into transactions, and we break it down into how much GCI is generated. But we know those numbers because the average home price in our area and so forth. But
Got it.
when we come down to the focus areas, this is going to be more on a team level rather than an individual level. So for in this example, customer service, create the ultimate client experience. The team that's the focus area for the team, which then will help the agents for their client experience. So admin assistant to conduct 30, 90, and 120-day follow-up calls to clients after all closings to suggest vendors for improvements and ask for referrals. So this is something an admin person might do. So the team is implementing this on behalf of the agents because they know that this is going to help the agents reach their goals.
Gotcha.
Follow
So
me?
this is, you're starting to look at this at a much more as a business owner. So as you're running your team, you no longer think of how many units am I selling personally as a team lead. You're looking at how are we progressing the actual team to move forward and hit this goal, right?
Yeah, so these focus areas are going to be items that your team is going to do that's going to help your team members do better, help their clients in a better way, or help them produce more
Yeah,
and accomplish their goals.
I remember in one of our trainings that we did, you said as you become a team leader, the client is now the agent. The agent is the client, and you have to
Absolutely.
service them the best so that they can go out there and ultimately serve the population in the best way possible, right?
Yeah, and we actually, and obviously we have to, sometimes we improve the things that we do, like the client experience is for the agent, even though it's client focused, it's still for the agent so that it provides a better experience for the agent's client. And obviously, like you saw on that other on the team one, it talked about hiring and recruiting, because we also have to think of a team. How do we grow the team? How do we add more agents to our team? How do we hire more admin to support those agents and so forth? So that's going to be another focus area on that example. When I go back to that example, you'll notice hire and recruit, because really the number one way to growth of a team is through agents and bringing more agents on and growing and maybe expanding into other areas. And so that should always be a focus area for teams. And then you have 5 objectives that are going to be specific for that. Hire an inside sales agent to determine compensation schedule, job duties, a description, and behavior profile. Locate ISA training resources to coach. And so this is for like hiring someone to support those agents. So again, this is going to be on a bigger level, more for team to help support not only the agents through admin, through the agents, and the client experience that those agents clients have, and supporting them.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and pull off of the screen share there. Any final thoughts before we take them out? Obviously, we have some content for them to download at the end here, but is there any final thoughts that you have on your mind as far as team goal setting goes?
Yeah, obviously we want to make it fun. You do it once a year, sometime in November, December, before the beginning of the year, to kind of get a plan on it. And something you're gonna, obviously goals are goals, and they're just dreams unless you track your progress in your activities, which, obviously we're going to have another video and information and content related or focused on tracking and how to have a great tracking process and system for your team. And so that's, the setting the goals is just one step. The next step is, how do we track that? How do we implement these objectives and make it happen and hold each other accountable to it? So, but this is extremely important for teams and for solo agents to set their goals every year.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, that's what we have for you for this year, for 2022. Obviously, we're heading into a market shift. We're in the midst of a market shift. So next year, we'll have another updated video on goal setting and maybe some tweaks that we made to it. But take what we gave you today, run with it, add to it, remove from it, take what you like, make it your own style. I asked Jake Rockwell if we could provide you guys with a downloadable PDF of this, and he said, sure enough, we will definitely give it out to you guys for free. That will be in the description below. So go
Yeah, we
ahead
can, provide them a blank copy and a couple of samples, one for the solo agent, one for the team, to kind of help guide them.
Absolutely. And then if you guys would like some one-on-one type training for this, we have nothing absolutely to sell you. We just want to help you build your business and grow. And this industry has treated us so well that we want to give back to it. Everything is an open playbook for us. If you'd like to book a one-on-one call, our calendar is also down in the description below. If you'd like a little bit more of a direct coaching on how to build on this team goal setting, or if you have any one-off questions, we'd also appreciate you dropping a comment below in the comment section. Let us know what you got out of value. Share this video with anyone you might think will get some value from it as well. Like, comment, subscribe for future episodes. And other than that, Jake, Any last thoughts, man?
Yeah, obviously we're looking to partner with other people across the country, and if you want to learn more about partnering with us, obviously connect with us through the information down below and so forth, and we can chat and show you what that looks like.
Cool. All right, guys. Till the next time. See you later.
All right, take care.